Yeah, sorry, I forgot I had my mic plugged in. I was trying to find it. I was like, where the fuck is it? I got it. Yeah, dude. Oh man, I was up all night doing that. Yeah, I built the sickest map. So I couldn't decide if I wanted this to be a third-person thing, so I did both. So I made it as complicated as you could possibly ever make a video game. So I made like an RPG Baldur's Gate Fallout 2 type controller and a third person controller in one because I couldn't decide what game I wanted to make. So I wanted because the map doesn't really go appreciated if you do it from the view that I have it, but I'll show you what I have so far. Yeah, I have animations already. We just gotta set it up if this ever fucking loads. I got a lot running in the background. So, this is us. I can move around like an ARPG, you know, I can zoom in and stuff. You can click to move to position. You can even jump on your own, which I don't know. But if you click to drag, you can actually walk with your character, which I thought was really fun. And you could actually kind of like run up to things. And if you press space, you can kind of jump. That's kind of like a controller. And one thing I've been working on is trying to hide the cliffs as I go under them. You wouldn't believe how fucking hard this is to do. But watch, I almost got it. So if I double click under, these should hide when they come in between our view. So now I can see my player and I can click around and kind of move still. So it's rough, but it's working. So you can double click to move, obviously, and it will walk on its own. You can hold click if you want to manually run. You can jump to find secrets on the level or whatever it may be. And then you can click to zoom in. I thought this was really fun to play around with. Oh yeah, and you can pick shit up, of course. So if I wanted to go over here, you know, I didn't know if I wanted to make it like turn-based, like Fallout 2, or if I wanted third person. So that's why I added this weird little control. 'Cause this is actually really interesting. If you double click to run, so it's kind of like Fallout, you click once to walk, you double click to run to its location. But if you hold click, you can actually just kind of manual walk. And the closer you get to it, he stops. Further you pull away, the faster he walks. And you can jump, which I've never seen in an AARPG before. I don't know why I did that, but it feels really interesting. So say if there's like a secret on the rock you can't get by doing point and click, you could easily just manually control and go up on the rock and get that secret, you know? I thought that was a really neat twist to that. If you double click, like I said, he'll run. There's still some bugs to work out. That's a mesh collider I haven't fucked with yet. This little passway's been quite a nuisance. If you notice, there's an invisible rock here or something. I think I turned alpha on it, that's why. But say, like, there's like a whole town or whatever. This is just like the desert zone. So it's kind of point and click. So I can click to go places like an RPG. And like I was just explaining for the people that weren't just here, is that I can click and drag and kind of move manually. And you can jump up on things. Which I thought was really interesting. Like, that's a fun... You wouldn't believe how fun that is to play around with until you've tried it. I think I'm on to something with this control scheme. It seems odd, but it works so well. Yeah, if you just click and hold, you can control him manually. If you drag away from him, the faster he goes. Double click to run. Or if you just want to do point and click, you can just zoom out and you can just double click on the location you want him to go. So instead of working on a grid system, I figured maybe try doing it in like a 3D system, and it's working it's an interesting concept. So over here is what I call the scar. There's going to be a valley after this point, so this will be the desert area. Let's make sure I get the scaling right. So if I want, so for example, here's a good place to show you. So like you'd normally get fall damage if you fell from this. So if you take your manual control and you drag it, you can jump down the cliff. Oh well, that would have killed you. But then there will be a cave down here, or a secret. You see why the manual control become in handy? Instead of clicking like a jump action and then clicking where you want to jump to, you can just control. It adds way more life to the game than just a simple AARPG, you know? Like, it works really well. You can just click wherever you want to go. Yeah, I gotta do some more code on that and fix between. See how these rocks fade when they go between your view? Like this. Like that. It's supposed to fade like Baldur's Gate, like that. You wouldn't believe how hard that is to do. Especially when you're working with alpha channels. Like, oh my god, dude. Like, for some reason, like, it's so hard to do when there's a collider on it. For some reason. Anyway. That's the controller I have. And I have animations already. Where is it? Here, we're going to add them here very shortly. So I do have to create an animator controller. Very easy. We just have to create a loop of animation. And this is like a created character I have in Blender. So I have a bunch of these characters to edit. I spent like the last 3 days just making assets and stuff. So that's where I've been. So we got some animation here to add in. And then I can just wrap a texture. So I was thinking about doing it the new Vegas way. So considering we're not doing first person view, I think I might make a couple controllers and see what works better. But I'm thinking this point and click thing's really interesting concept for a game. And I want to make it so you can just toggle into third person. I think that would be a lot of fun, you know? Have a third person controller and an AARPG controller. Like, that's a phenomenal idea. And I already have it. I just gotta refine this, you know? Yeah, this cube is us, like we were just playing it, but I'm gonna add these animations in place of this cube, and you'll see what I mean. We're gonna do that shortly. I'm trying to get grass in here. Yeah, I got a couple tools. We have Pro Builder, of course, and Polybrush, and Terrain Tools. There's a missing collider around here fucking somewhere I want to fix. I don't know where it is. Yeah, I don't know where it is. I can't remember. I'll have to walk through and find that rock again. Because in Pro Builder, I can just bind it all as one rock. One asset, once I'm done with the map. I'm just trying to drop in some bushes and stuff just to give it a little bit of life. Because what I wanted to do first is just create a playground and then we're going to build a game off of it. So I already have the controller. We just got to do the animation, which I have some. I got to figure out the reason why I brought in a humanoid character is because I want to try the Unity's ragdoll system. I want to see, because I have to have fucking ragdoll. It's something you need. And you wouldn't believe how complicated it is to get a ragdoll sometimes to work proper. Oh, it saves so much more space using alphas, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, and then I have scripted plants as well that kind of move with the wind. You'll see what I mean. These are more static objects, just to kind of give the terrain a bit more flavor. You know, there's sometimes these bushes on the rocks. We'll put one here as well, but like a bigger one. And then what I'll do is copy and paste it and kind of rotate it. There we go. That's a little better. And I would like... Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude, I'm doing the whole fucking damn thing handcrafted. I ain't using no procedural tools, nothing. I'm making it how I want it. I'm not using any of that shit. I'm doing this the old school fucking way. I'm doing this by hand, man. All of this is done by hand. This shit took me hours last night to do. Well, big problem with Unity is like materials. I came across a few things I really wanted to share, but it was way past the time to do it. So there's another thing I want to do is I gotta make a script for Collider so I can tell where my dungeons are gonna be. I did make a couple. This is a starting zone, I think, is what I'm gonna start it as before you move into the bigger city. I got way better trees than this. I gotta be very scarce on how I use this tree, or it's gonna become very recognizable. So you gotta be careful with trees. Well, I had a pack of trees, but someone bound them as a one object, so now I gotta go make my bunch of my own, which I spent all last night doing too. When the time is right. Yeah, put it all in there. That way I can actually use this. So this is a big problem with Unity. If you fill this fucking list, it's so annoying to get space to add more things. Like, you just can't do it unless you get rid of things. So I just push it. Oh, whoop. I almost punched it off my desk. Yeah, I just got in from the outside. Like, my blood's, like, pumping, like, hot because it's so cold out where I live. I live in Ontario, man. It's so cold today. I told you we were making a game. Yeah, I'm gonna make 3 controllers. I'm gonna make a first person, third person, and an ARPG like Fallout 1. I'll show you what we were just doing here shortly. So let me fill some more bushes and... I gotta find that damn rock that was invisible too. Whoa, where did that come from? Yeah, you can make them look like stalactites almost if you point them the right way. It's just a rock though, right? Like, you gotta give the cave some emphasis. Like some of that. Like, that doesn't look too bad going down in. And here's our player. And then I got some grasses and stuff. Yeah, it's coming along. There was more fog. I'm gonna have like a real sky render engine here, so you'll see what I'm doing. I'm doing some pretty impressive things. So aside from mixing the 2 controllers that I've never seen, like I'll just show you here in a minute, I'll show you some of the other things. I was trying to make a cool shader. It wasn't going well, and I just blew up my fucking computer the other day doing it. So if the thing randomly turns off, it's because I'm doing things. Just remember that. It's because I'm making things happen. Yeah, I have a density, so you can increase the fog, and it kind of gives it like a dusty feel. You know, you can kind of replicate like a dust storm with that. If you add a particle to that, and then you increase the slider over time, and then it slowly fades away, you can get some pretty cool stuff out of that. Yeah, I got some new skyboxes, shadow color. I'm just figuring. all of this out before I bake it, because once I solidify all of these with Pro Builder into one asset, when I'm happy with it, and then I'll bake the lighting on top of it, right? Because I have to make sure all of these are good. And the proper colliders, like these colliders have to fit the rock. And I gotta make sure these materials don't have any like height map issues. There was a rock here somewhere that had that issue. I saw it. I don't remember where I saw it. It'll like shimmer. It's like a really weird shimmery effect. One of these rocks has it. I don't remember where it was. A sea of rocks, man. Yeah, I thought I did a pretty good job, man, on this tunnel so far. Wait till I start doing the lighting and stuff. It's gonna look fucking beautiful. I could probably already play with the lighting, you know? Let's go to directional light. You could wash it out, you know, you got more of like a gray color. That kind of looks like New Vegas, you know, really washed out. Or I could bring some more color into the desert if I really wanted to. Which is nice. It's a nice little slider to have. It's a little too red for my liking, you know, it's like Australia. Make it nice and natural. Yeah, I'm doing the terrain, everything. Like, I'm doing it all by hand. I have a lot of secrets, so I can't show those secrets. So I'm trying to keep certain things on stream for development and some things off. Yeah, and I gotta get more trees here. I'm trying to get some done in Blender. I have Blender open, so if I pop it, it should just pop open in OBS. I could be wrong. Yeah, see. It's just Blender 5's so buggy when it comes to doing animations and stuff. It's almost unreal, man. Speaking of animations, I need to go to Assets, Player. We need to make an animation controller. Yeah, and eventually we gotta set that up and just get these animations in there until I can replace them. That way I'm not just floating around with the box. But I'll show for those who aren't here how this works. So, because it is interesting, and I think it could be a lot of fun for an RPG. So just pretend this is the player, like I was explaining earlier. I can double click to run. I can single click to walk to wherever location it may be. There'll be a marker there for you. Or I can hold click, and I can control my character like this. And like unlike most ARPGs, you can actually jump to, duck, and if you right click you can manually aim to shoot targets. So it's not like a turn based, you know, it's still kind of physical, but it's also got that point and click aspect to it. So if you want to take a break, instead of doing third person, you know, you can just run to your destination like that, kind of take in the landscape. Or you can click hold and you can kind of, you know, see that? That's a problem. Here it is. This is the rock I'm talking about. This is the one I wanted to find. So I gotta remember. That's right in Cooper's Cliff. Alright, that rock right there. I gotta figure out why that's happening. That's bad. Yeah, see, there's a rock in front of me. And I know this because I can jump on it. There's definitely something going on here that I'm not aware of. Which is very odd. So, let me get out of that. And go to Cooper's Canyon and find that damn rock. So it's right here. Ah! There's a massive mesh collider here for some reason. Now, why in God's name would that be like that? That is not how that should be. It goes real far under the terrain. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I gotta fix that. See how this? See this? That's bad. That's not supposed to be like that. So, let's see what happens if I can just flip this bitch around. See what happens. Yeah, it's still a little bad. Well, I'll leave it for now, and I'll come back to that. So let me just mark that down on my piece of paper here. Fix the damn collider on that. I have better tools for that. I'm going to make a way better mesh once I bind it all together as one. So the reason why I'm doing this all separate, so I have more control. I can build my cliffs. And then at the end, I'll make it one object. That way the game doesn't have to constantly load 1,000 fucking rocks, right? It'll just be like one big rock thing. Anyway. I'm just trying to develop this area a little bit. That way I can get out. And there's a cave down here, which will have a region in it, which I need to make a script for now. We gotta set up the damn animator controller. I've got to remember how to do that. I think we're working with speed. If I remember correctly, it's the float that deals with speed, right? Anybody? It is float for speed, right? It's greater than, 0.1. Am I doing that right? I always do it in my head before I actually do it, because if I start doing it, I'm gonna punch a hole through my screen, because things get that bad. Oh, I love it, man. I've been wanting to do this game for a very long time. I have all the skills to do it. I've just never actually put them into like a project that'll extend for a while, Like, this is just a sliver of what I have to do, right? So I got a lot of the character programmed. I got the enemies programmed. What else do I fucking have programmed? There's so many scripts I had to make. There's scripts for everything. Open doors, door on enter, enter region, scene change, scene return, player spawn. God damn, there's so many things. What I'm trying to do is make a ramp. That's one problem, that Unity does not have a basic tool for just a freaking slope that's on an angle. It's so tough to get that. You have to use like 8 different tools and kind of work your way into a slope. How big is the map going to be? Let me show you. Well, this is just what I have so far. Oh, well. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Here, let me turn off the fog so you can see what I'm doing. That's all I have so far. It's not bad, man, for overnight. Like, that's a pretty cool area, dude. And there's gonna go into the valley area where it starts to get a little bit greener and lush, And there'll be beaches and stuff. Like, this is just a really good to program things in area. The desert's an amazing area to start a video game, I'll tell you. You can test everything, and it doesn't matter if you bust it. It's so simple to fix. In a city, it can be catastrophic. One time I got Grok to make me a script once. It was so funny too. It ran the game, and every item I picked up, it would delete from the game's library. And then right when the game ended, all the assets would refresh and it would be gone. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, we gotta do the animator controller here. I just gotta remember how the fuck this is done. So it'll be like entry will be your idle. So we idle to running greater than floats. Let me see how many floats. I have a little old guide here. Alright, here it is. Yeah, that's what it was. It was case sensitive. I remember now. So we need to open this. We need to go up. Whoa. Parameters. Float. Speed. I remember that. And what we need is our idle clip. Alright, that's our default. I wonder. Here, hold on a minute. I think I'm doing something wrong. Let me think for a fucking damn second here. My damn head hurts so much when I have to do the damn animator controller shit. It's the one thing my brain just can't remember sometimes. I swear to God, this thing is such a piss off. I know I'm missing something here. Let me check. I know it. Okay, loop time. That sounds familiar. I don't remember if I have to enable loop time or not. And I'm pretty sure there was something called exit time. That was an important feature as well. Here, let me just look at the damn guide. Alright. Comes idle state default right click empty space, create state empty. Alright. So we'll call that movement. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm already confused as shit. Alright. I remember this being a lot easier. Yeah, I'm reading an old guide I had here that saves. It was the default state. And then it was the empty to the movement. Yeah, I could have sworn this was supposed to open up, though. Oh, create new blend tree and state. Oh, there, that makes a fuck lot more sense. There we go. And then 1D, right. Here, hold on, let me go back to my damn guide. I did it wrong. That was my fault. That's the part I always forget. It's the damn blend trees. Sometimes when you do, like, first-person animation, you just do, like, a circle. You don't have to fuck with a blend tree, especially for like a no weapon idle, then to weapon idle, then to weapon holster and stuff. You normally don't have to use a blend tree. Alright, parameter, yeah, set it to speed. It is twice. And motion, right? Why can't I drag my walk clip? Alright. So we want the walking clip first. And then I think the idle second. No, we want run. Okay. Set that to 3.5 and then 7. Okay, then now we have to make the transition, so we gotta go back to base layer. Transition. And we transition back. Oh yeah, and then this is where the exit time was. Yeah, right. Okay, I remember now. And that has to go. And then the speed was greater than 0.1. Wait, am I doing this wrong? Hold on. I very well might be. So idle to movement greater than. So idle to movement greater than 0.1. Right. And then he'll enter its walking state. And then the transition duration, we can figure that out later. The movement back to idle will be less than 0.1. Less 0.1. Let me just double check, make sure. Uncheck. Exit. There we go. Alright, let's give it a whack, shall we? Let's see what happens. Fuck. That means I gotta get rid of my lovely cube. So in a player, let's get rid of our cube. We'll bring in our dude. Oh no, why is his position way over there? What the fuck? What the hell? Oh, come on. Oh, that's so lame. Alright, that's gonna I gotta fix that later then. That's so lame. And why are you in the terrain, for one? So you need to go into player. Fuck. Yeah, that's gonna be really annoying, actually. It's extremely annoying. I don't even know if this is gonna work. Oh, shit. See, yeah, now it'll let me scale him on his body. I don't know what the hell just happened, but alright, cool, thank you. Unity just corrected it. It was over there for some reason. That actually made me very happy. Unity never does what I want it to. Thank you. Yeah, it actually just corrected its local position. I didn't think it would actually do that. Yeah, I really don't like doing this. I should just copy the values over, but I'm just kind of nitpicky when it comes to doing this. Alright, back a little bit more. Jesus Lord. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're just testing the animation controller anyway. I just want to make sure he doesn't just shoot off into the fucking sky. Unity's bad at that, bro. Alright. Okay, we got the player controller. Let's just look at my thing. Alright. Moment of truth. Something's wrong. I got an error and I didn't look at it. He's not moving at all. What the fuck happened? Oh! I actually think I know what's going on. Reference screens. Oh no, yeah, that's just from the. Alright, so that's gotta go. Aha! Let me just double check my transitions. Yeah. 1D speed, 2 motion field. .2 should be its transitions. Yeah, see, it works in the animator controller. Why isn't it working, like, on our player, though? Let's see what's going on. Is he even idled? Something's wrong. Something is absolutely wrong with these clips. I don't know what's going on. Humanoid. Yeah, let me just try loop time. I don't know, I can do first person animations real fucking easy. It's not going too well, is it? We'll get it. Oh, come on. Tell me you're even just doing your idle animation. Well, that's incredibly odd. Yeah, that's really weird, man. What's going on? Yeah, I must have done something wrong. Do I need to bring in the actual... Here, let me go into my my game folder. Anims. Oh, assets. Player. I already have it in there. So what's going on? Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, something's got to be very basically wrong with this. Maybe it's feasible. Now try? Like, I don't understand what's going on. Oh, there he goes! There he goes! He's running! Ha! 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 What the fuck? It worked. That was funny, man. That gave me a good laugh. That was funny, bro. You gotta admit that was funny. Yo, what was that, dude? That's funny. That Fred Flintstone shit, bro. What is that? That's funny, man. Oh, look, yeah, you get slower. It does work. That's so funny, bro. That's funny, dude. That's jokes to me, bro. Oh my god, yeah, we gotta turn that down. Yeah, at least we did it right. I mean, oh boy, man, how do I make that slower, eh? Fuck, let's see. Hmm. Yeah, we gotta make the colliders visible too. So now we got that. I'm just looking at my book here to see how to make this a little faster. Yeah, the animation for that is way too fucking fast. That is so funny to me, dude. Yeah, see how fast that is? That's bad. Fuck. Yeah, it's way too fast. Watch, it's actually freaking hilarious how fast it is. Look at him go, man. He's pumping his little legs. He's a little slower now, though. I know it looks stupid, but trust me, it'll get good. Yeah, I need to make him walk when he's walking like this. This is walk. This is run. So he should be running when this happens. I know it's funny, eh? For now, we just gotta work in the animator controller. So this is just a start to a basic animator, right? So that just shows you how easy it is to do that. Just already, we already have a character, and we just gotta make him clothes and some items. Yeah, and like the closer you get, the slower he'll walk. And what you can also do is turn it into third person mode. I'll have to code that up real quick. Yeah, but trust me, I'll clean these all animations up. I just wanted to see if my player controller would look good with the player. And I think that could work, man. Yeah, like if you click, you can go to the destination, double click to run. You can obviously pick up objects. And if you click and hold, like Baldur's Gate, you can kind of move your character. And if you pull, you can go a little faster. You can jump. Yeah, he runs funny, eh? It's jokes. I think he's a little slower, though, so that's nice to know. See, I don't like doing it this way because now, like, I'm really confused. Like, now I can't tell what goes from walk to run, right? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. And every time I use a fucking blend tree, I get this problem. Like, right now, I'm lost. So I'm just kind of, like, looking up where to find what I'm looking for. Yeah, I don't like blend trees very much. I wish I could just do this just, like, connecting the fucking animations, you know? It should be very simple. Like, I don't even remember how I did that. Let's try that. I don't know where my run clip is in this whole thing. Like, it shows me this. It shows me my walk, and that's really slow. Like, is that for the whole blend tree, though? Here, let me try it real quick then. That doesn't make sense to me, and I don't like it. So I'm going to try it a different way if that's how I have to do it. Oh yeah, that's way better. Yeah, he just kind of slows down a little too early though, see? Yeah, cool. For now, that's all right. Nice. Anyway, let me go back to what I was doing. I got to get this script in here. So I can't spell visible correctly because I have another script with the same fucking name. It's just so I can find it. Now, when I put that script on a collider, it should show me like where it is on the map instead of just being invisible. Yeah, see, like, so I can't tell where my dungeons are, because if I click off of it, then they're gone, right? If I go in, like, bird's eye view, I'll never find that again. So, what I normally do now is, like, where is it? Here, and then I'll put my visible script on, and I can choose a color. It should be fucking visible, and I don't know why it's... Oh, yeah, sorry, I have to make it a trigger. Oh, weird. Here, let me check something. Yeah, that has to be visible. It says gizmo color, but there's no gizmo color. So, I don't know why. And this also needs to be wider, so you can't just sneak into it. Yeah, this is a region, so like when you get up to the cave, you enter this region and it'll teleport you into the cave scene, right? The dungeon. Something like that, maybe. And I need to do something with this. Let me get rid of this. I don't know why that's not working. Very interesting. Anyway, I'll come back to that in a second. Here, let me fucking look. Piece of shit. Fuck. I don't know what's going on. Yup. Yeah, I got lots of stuff done. I got a whole damn zone here, and we're just programming the characters. So we just did the animator controller. Now I can just go into Blender, get it clean, do some fun stuff. I'm just finishing the script because I need to know where the colliders are on this map, so I know where my dungeons are, so I can label them. Because that's probably the one thing I will do generators on for spawns, like world bosses and stuff will happen in random spawn. So I have to figure out a little system for that. There we go. Now I can see it, kinda. Yeah, it's really helpful. Now when I go into bird's eye view, I can actually see where all my event colliders are, my scripted events. say the player entered this box, I could make a rock fall on top of you or something, you know, something like that. I'm not saying that's what I will do, but it's not quite a bad idea. What the fuck is it? There it is. I'll make it pink. Why isn't it pink? Should be pink. That's odd. Oh, there we go. Now it's pink-ish. So, like, when I go into, like, bird view. Yeah, it should be brighter, but that's okay. At least I know where my dungeons are. Actually, here, I'll make that a little bit brighter. Yeah, I gotta make it brighter, or I won't know. Yeah, this is gonna be a really fun game when it's done. I have so many systems already built that I was playing with yesterday. This fun little combat system I was trying out. There'll be 2 different combat systems in this game. There'll be a third-person controller that you can play the game third-person, or you could play it like an RPG, you know? Like a ARPG with a slightly different control scheme, slightly closer to Fallout. Oh, yeah. So that one stream we were doing, I still have all those, so you can pick up objects like Fallout and Skyrim, and you can hoard them like cheese wheels and stuff. You click, drag them around the objects, you know. Gotta have it. It's my game. I plan on making everything happen. It's all about making them work together. That's usually the problem. Because usually you gotta tell them what's happening with each other. It can be quite confusing. It should be a little bit brighter now. It's loading, compiling, initializing. There we go. Yeah, now I know where my zones are, right? So I can make like all the blue ones dungeons. Now when I go in bird's eye view and I look at the map, I can see where all my dungeon headers are. Instead of just having an invisible box there and losing it later. Yeah, I made all that by hand. It's going to be a huge valley. There will be a city. And there will be another section of the map you can go into. It'll be huge, man. It's going to be huge. The rate I'm building it, right? I got all the assets I need for the valley. I just got to start doing the trees and more bushes and shit. That's what I was on here trying to do, but kind of losing time. And we got the start to a player controller. And I gotta fix the clipping with the rocks when the player goes under it, like I'll show you. You wouldn't believe how hard that is to code up. To get these things to occlude when you walk under it between the camera and the player. Because it can't blind you, right? And for example, let's go under the rock. See how it see-through now? That's hard to do. And now when I click on the ground, see how he still moves inwards? That's because he thinks he's trying to get on top of the rock. That's hard to fix too. You have to kind of tell it to hide the rock and be invisible, and you can kind of click on the ground. It works in some places. It's a little bugged out. Click and drag. It's a little small. I'll make them a lot bigger. Yeah, it's supposed to be like twice that size. So let's keep them small and see if the animations are working. That seems to be the good speed for it. It's not bad. It's correct. It's the walking I gotta fix. See, when he's supposed to be walking, he's actually jogging. He should be doing the walk animation there. This animation. See, that's walk speed. That's run speed when you double click. Yeah, so if you want to like find secrets instead of just having to click and click jump things to get up there, you could just hold click, you could run, you could just jump up there. Jump and kickflip off. Whoa. Yeah, see how big that bush is? He's supposed to be way bigger than this. Or they're supposed to be way smaller. Scale is way off. So you gotta make him bigger. Bigger, 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 bigger. Maybe something like that. Yeah, then I already have UV, you know, then I can just do the UV and apply it as a texture. And armors will bind to sockets like Fallout will to the character. So your shoulder has a socket, your hand has a socket for weapons, elbows for like armors and stuff. And when you get the armor and equip it, it attaches to that socket. So it's a 3D model that binds to your socket. Yeah, it's a bit more proper scale. Now he runs like a goof, but that's fine. His arms are all fucked up. That's the thing with Mixamo. Mixamo fuck everything up, dude. See what I mean? Like, it's hard to click. You click once, he'll do it, but the script doesn't understand. If I double click on it, it goes back that way for some reason. If it's occluded by a rock, so I gotta debug that. I don't know what reference is missing in my script either. I gotta fix that. I think it has something to do with animation. Yeah, see how he's still running? He should stop. It's a good start though, man. And the inside of his eyes are invisible. Just a base, then I can do a UV wrap around it. Use a bump map, and it'll give it a really nice flavor. It'll look really good when it's done. But it's all you really need, is something basic, like a basic map. But this little split here on the back of his head might become a problem. Yeah, I don't know if I want to make it third person or first person yet. That's why I was just messing with this ARPG type system. It's a really fun one, and I might upload it to the Unity store for a free pack, because it is an amazing controller. There we go, got a little bit of dust back in there. Yeah, I want to try making a shader. We should actually just mess around and see what we can come up. Maybe see what we can do for like a retro CRT. Because I'm going to have to do that for like terminals and stuff like that. Because I do want to kind of have it like Fallout 1 and 2. I love playing those games. So I love the whole RPG top-down finding guns type thing. Such an easy concept to make. But you wouldn't, it's unbelievable. Like, it's all UI systems, man. And that can get very complex. I'm bad with UI systems, but I can do it. It just takes time. Yeah, he's already coded to shoot guns and stuff like that. Like, for example, if I were to, like, do it, here, I'll show you what I mean. So, like, here's his hips. I could use that bone for, like this. His hands are separate, so I can attach a gun to it. There should be a rig in here. That can be a problem, too, considering I don't have the shoulder bone showing in here. I gotta diagnose that as well. It's just really easy to swap out the player animations and just do a new controller, right? As long as I have this base controller here, script, this is the magic. This is the magic code. I shouldn't have yeah, this cube up here was to test me picking up objects. So if I go back, I'll show you. And you just pick it up. Where is it? Just like that, right? And it goes into your inventory, which should be shown in your script. Well, it used to. I used to have it. Used to tell you what you just picked up, but that's alright. Then you gotta fix all the lighting. See how this looks like it's floating? I gotta fix that too. Yeah, it's fun. It's just fun to play around with. It's fun when you build things that work like that. I'm actually really impressed with myself. Trust me, it's gonna look really good when it's done. It's not gonna look like it was made in some shitty Unity engine, that was for sure. Although it is. I haven't had time for gaming. I've been doing programming the whole week. Well, I'm trying to get as much done as I can before I go to my mama's for Christmas break. It's in another city. I can still program from there, but it's just really hard to do without my tools, you know? Things to remind you what are, because it's like good luck remembering everything. Like, no human can do that by themselves. Yeah, well, I have other brushes. Like, I'm trying to blend in the terrain as well. So, like, you'll see. Just can do stuff like, you know, kind of change the depth. Fuck, where'd my materials go? Oh. And then what we could do is take this, because this down here would be technically rocky. Paint this into stone. Now I'll blend it with the other stuff soon, and then offset the texture, especially right here on this wall. I'm just trying to get in what I think would be stone, so like most of this. Most of this would be rock too. Yeah, it looks a little better. Something like that, you know, just kind of hit it with a couple layers, and I got a bunch more layers to do on that. I have another layer with a bump on it to give it a little bit of like a rocky depth. Kind of up the resolution so it doesn't look like New Vegas, you know? Doesn't have to look exactly like it. I mean, I was playing New Vegas the other day, it's pretty fucking close. Especially with these rocks, it gives it such a Vegas look. Well, I don't want it all to be in the desert, right? There's going to be a city, tons of loot. I'm working on another project of Unity, but I'm trying to figure out a gun system, like a modular gun system. I think I understand how it works. it's fun to do because you can just build a bunch of gun parts and then just make them snap to each other, and then each part will be like a feature, like a stat, or it will have a special particle attached to it, and when you shoot with that, that function ties into that stat, and the particle gets emitted after. Yeah, you gotta get. I'm just doing something here. I got some more assets to bring in. Like, I got grasses to do and stuff like that. And I gotta get rid of this semi-ugly dirt texture. Like, I'm trying to replace it because, like, if you think, like, the ground would crack up like that, you know? That's why it's good to use terrain layers. Just kind of click. There you go. It's really nice. Yeah, we'll work on a nice shader, but if I'm doing a shader, then I might have to do quite a few of them. Right? I can't just apply the one shader to everything. A lot of people think like you just have a shader and it just gives your game this cool aesthetic. Like there's a lot of work to do. We'll make one. We'll just try to make it look retro or something. I don't know. It should be pretty simple to lower the resolution from the camera, something like that. Because Fallout 1 and 2 was made with 3D assets just rendered down into sprites. Like, it's just engines back then couldn't handle it, right? Or they would have made it 3D. I personally just love what they did already, so... Yeah, I'm just doing something on my desk here real quick. Just give me a moment, please. Thank you. Donkey. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I'm going all the way with this project, man. No. I don't ask people for things like that. I'm not one of those guys that's gonna go open a freaking Kickstarter, you know? Never take investments unless you're damn sure it's gonna work, you know? It's pretty fucking big bold statement or big bold move to make, you know? If you love making video games, then let love make the video game. I'm telling you, you can get it done. I don't know, something stuck under my shift key and I can't press it. What was that? Yeah, it shouldn't do that. Oh. Yeah, I got so much of the map to develop still. And so I was trying to find like a nice grass texture because over past the scar, I wanted like to start going into valley. And there'll be like a village here or something like that. It's just a really tough thing to pan out. And when you're making a Unity map, I always recommend you stamp it at least 60 height. That way you can actually make your terrain dip down. Because if you start at 0, you can't make it go under 0. What I mean by that, like for example, if I take my terrain tool and I hold control, I can make it go down. That's because I stamped it higher to begin with. I need to mark it. Yeah, don't worry about that. I was trying something. It doesn't go. It's not working as well as planned, right? So, well, what I was thinking about is trying to see if you could make a collider just by coding it, right? I don't know if that's possible. Well, if you think about it, like, you should be able to wrap an object like a skin, almost. And make it like a flat face collider instead of riding on a bunch of vertices, you know? Yeah, there's a dungeon on the other side of this, so you'll walk into this, or press E on, or an action key, and you'll go into the dungeon. But what I'll do is I'll make an image and do like what Bethesda does, and just put a black picture back there, so it looks like the deep cave. And then when you load into it, you're in a new scene, which is just a full level just designed underground, right? It's just a really good way to handle that. But then you get a lot of load screens when you go into dungeons and shit. That's why I have to have a lot of real world activity. But anyway, I want to check out Unity's Ragdoll controller. I know it's here somewhere. Let me just save the project, because we do have really good progress here. We have animations, which is fun. Where is Unity Ragdoll system thing? Yeah, I have to ask. Ragdoll wizard. Oh, okay. So if we go to game object 3D Ragdoll, yeah, I'm trying to figure out drag animator component to autofill the ragdoll bones. Animator or humanoid avatar is missing. What? I literally just clicked you. Maybe I clicked the wrong one. Yeah, there it is. The ragdoll did work. What are you talking about? Hey, those bones right there are certainly for ragdoll. My animator broke. Animator human avatar is missing. Why? I don't understand what happened. It still works. What does it mean the animator is missing? I don't know, but he's got ragdoll now, and that was really freaking easy, dude. Are you serious? It was that easy to add ragdoll to my character. Bullshit. I don't believe it for a fucking second. Let me see. There's gotta be another way to try this. And let me go to prefabs, or... Let me find... this guy, and let's try something here, okay? I call bullshit on this entire thing. So let's take that. Let's go to game object. Oh wait, do I have to use my animator then? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't trust that because I don't want to break my animator control. I guess I really don't care, but I'm trying to figure out how I can test the ragdoll to make sure that's actually like what that is. I know I would add a rigid body, but I'm just trying to figure out how you can just crumple my fucking player, you know? Here. Alright, let's try it this way. I need to create a script. Alright. Well, we did this by code then, so let's see what happens. When I press the K key, he should just crumple. I don't know. Find out if he just crumple. Watch, the bad's about to happen, I know it. Everything's about to explode. Watch. This is going to be funny. Alright, nothing detonated yet. Wait. If we press the K key, something should happen. Nothing fucking happened. Why? He glitched. Character.move called inactive. I don't know what that means. Simple work update. Movie and vector. What? Oh, you know what's probably going on? Here, hold on a second. Oh, you know what I forgot to do is probably just add a rigid body to it. That's probably why he has no gravity, I would assume. Yeah, okay, so... Do I just put it on here? Or does he already have one? Yeah, okay, so... He should just crumple. Oh, yeah, he just falls through the floor. You dumbass. What the fuck was that? What a piece of shit. That did nothing. What am I missing here? Let's try a kinematic then. I don't know why he's not just crumpling. He should just crumple. Press K and he just runs through the floor. It's funny. And he just sinks. He's not crumpling. I don't know. Maybe we'll figure that out some other time then. So let's remove that. Let's go back to player. Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't seem to want to do that. And I'm kind of concerned with that new ragdoll system on there. That's funny because I'm going to delete this character anyway, but that's kind of funny. Anyway, yeah, I'm happy with it. I know it works because I can see it, but Haven't got it to do it yet. So far, he just falls through the fucking floor, so. What it could be is that I didn't add it to the mesh. So that could be another problem. So let me try this again. So let's go force ragdoll. The rude hips. Oh, it does it? Oh, then maybe I don't need a rigid body then. Maybe it added it for me. Let me find out. Something's going on. Hey, it just goes through the floor. You should just ragdoll. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Yeah, he just glitches. That's alright, though. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I gotta start that over and get those animations fixed up here shortly. That's fun. Got the ragdoll. At least I just wanted. I had like a dream last night that Unity's ragdoll system is going to be way more complex, but that actually turned out pretty well. But one thing I'm concerned with is these shoulders. That's not going to work. Like, I don't know where it's showing me this. That's what I'm trying to find in the inspector. Interesting. I'll try it with an enemy. That's what I'm gonna do, because we gotta code up the gun. Well, it's already on the player, but we gotta animate like the pistol, tell it what to shoot and stuff like that, and then see if we can take down a few enemies or whatever it may be, and then we can start building stuff. Yeah, I got scaffolding to add, train tracks, roads, buildings. It's unbelievable how much work I've been doing this week. Shader, which we can try. Yeah, this is a little shader I had from another project, so let's see what happens. And you just put it in, and then I think all we have to do is create a material and slap that shader on there, and then that should be good. Some material. How did we do this again? There we go. Oh, nice. It does work. It's kind of like a glow shader of some kind. Or do we put it on her head? Where'd my material go? Oh, there it is. And see, it kind of glows. I was hoping it would be a bit more like ghosty, though. I wanted like a frosty kind of color, but that's okay. Well, I need to have them a dark color because I need to fix the clipping that happens when you go under the terrain. And I still have to make the skin for them. I have UVs, everything done. I just got to paint them up. Or get somebody to paint a few up. Yeah, I'm more than happy to pay somebody. If you all want to shoot me an email at bossposts@gmail.com. Shoot me a message. Show me what you can do for painting, like faces and stuff. And I'll pay you to do some characters. Paint them up and credit you in the games. Yeah, I don't like that bush either. I see what you mean. Yeah, I don't like that grass. Get rid of it. And this will be the valley area. And then way out here will be the city. Look how far away all that is, eh? Like, I made a good choice for a size. It's very important when you start a project, your size. And you fucking right, I'm gonna use the whole space. It's gonna be a fun game, man. Whoa, look at that. Something's going on. There we go. Yeah, even with these big rocks, you could change the tiling size, like if I wanted to. So he kind of matches like the shape. A little better. That's why I love modular rocks. Like, they're amazing, dude. They're amazing, amazing. Oh, it's a little... Oh, yeah, there's a tunnel back here. It's like cavern trails and stuff. There was one I was working on. I can't remember where the fuck it was. There was another path here. Even I'm getting lost sometimes when I go through it. Can't remember where it is. Yeah. That's what I've been doing, guys. So I figured I'd come in and shoot a little update on the development. Oh yeah, that's a little odd looking now. Maybe even tile that a little differently. That's a little fucked up. What the hell is going on with you? Oh, alpha clipping. Always. I just gotta make a script that'll turn everything's alpha clip on. I hate that. There we go. That's a little better. Yeah, I was just kind of tweaking this up a little bit. See, once you start adding the foliage and start doing a few more terrain layers, it'll start looking really, really good, you know? It's getting there. Trees are very easy to make because you just gotta make a bunch of dead ones, but it's like I don't know really how to handle the trees when it comes to like the foresty areas. I might do PNG alphas that way. Yeah, and then a first person controller, so I could probably even do that, you know? So it's not over. Technically, you could. So what I could do is, for example, where's my player? So let's just close up the terrain for now. There's my other player. Where is he? Let's turn off that player for now. Now let's go create empty FPS controller. And then in here I want to add character controller. Then in there I'll create a camera. Yeah, should pop us in the FPS controller. I could just layer that over my player, then you have a first person, you have an ARPG, and third. Yeah, see, we're kind of like in first person. I think I did the camera wrong, though. I think we're kind of getting away from herself. Unless I did something fucking wrong. What is that? Oh yeah, that's my collider. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I've been clicking that the whole time. I think I put the script on the wrong... Okay, good. Yeah. Well, it should give us control. I don't see what's wrong. It's a really rough FPS controller, but it just works, you know? It's like it's... very rough. So much head bob. Oh yeah, that's bugged out. That's funny. Yeah, but for just like a rough FPS, you know, it's so easy. But anyway, let's delete all that. Yeah, it's just funny to have in there. I want to do a third person one instead, but we have this one. So, yeah, we'll leave it on that. I don't know. I've always wanted like another game like the old Fallout games, like the Baldur's Gate 3 was just amazing, but it wasn't open enough for me, you know? That was the problem. Like they say it's a really big game, but it is pretty fucking linear, man. Like you only go one way to do things, you know? I really wanted like a big world like Fallout, kind of a game like Fallout, but with, like some like RPG systems, but you can go into third person and play it that way if you want, you know? So I never understood why games just don't add certain perspectives onto the game. They say, oh, it just doesn't look good. Yeah, but still, people like to check shit out, you know? It's just a cool thing, and it's easy to add to anything. Like, we just had it first person, and all we had to do is layer that onto a controller, tell each script to switch on a certain key. You go first person and ARPG, you know? That's pretty cool. I just think ARPG and, click... I don't. What do you call those games? Point and click RPGs, I guess. We're on to something though. Like this controller is awesome. The animations are goofy, but that's just for like 10 seconds of making a fucking animation controller, right? Like this is actually a pretty cool controller, you know? Click walk, double click run. You can click to hold. You can just play it like a top-down game, you know? Once I get all my foliage in here and I paint all my bum textures, it's gonna look sick. Get my other rocks in here. This is just layer 1 of the foliage, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just warming up stuff here. Give me a minute. I gotta put my little pen thing on like a desk, you know, like those Huon pads. I have a really big one for animation, and I use it to sculpt. So we're gonna get into that in a minute. Make some sick reload animations for different kinds of guns. Well, the best part about having the view that I'm doing is like the guns don't have to be extremely detailed, you know? Like in modeling, they just have to be like really detailed when you're like what would you call it? Painting it or texturing it. Because if you go pull apart like any Fallout asset, it's literally flat ass shit, dude. Like there's like no detail on it at all. It's all done through textures and height maps and stuff. Bump map. Yeah, I'm trying to find a good grass painting thing, right? That's what I was after there. That's why I'm waiting. I got so many fucking notifications. Holy Jesus. Uber. They won't. Anyway, but that's it for now. I'm probably gonna jump over, play some games or something for a little bit, jump back, do some more programming on those enemies, and then yeah, but I'll probably head off to bed. Thank you for tuning in into this little section of closer look into day one of making the map.